Hello, fellow TIs. I thought you might be interested in who's really behind the gang stalking. I know there's a lot of theories out there, and the government actually loves that. They love the disinformation and the confusion and, the wacko theories that are out there. Well, there's nothing magical or mystical about it. It's run by the federal government, and I just thought I'd give you some info about it. I've been trying to play some posts on some different YouTube videos, and they actually keep deleting my posts, so I'm going to try this. I have a feeling they'll probably delete this as well, but I'm going to go ahead and try to post this, and hopefully it'll work. So just wanted to alert you to a website that's called the abbreviated RISS.net, and it's Regional Information Sharing Systems. And it's a proven resource for law enforcement. Of course, the private sector can join in on this too. I'll go ahead and show you what this entails. So Regional Information Sharing Systems, it's conducted in every state in the Union. And there's different centers. I'm currently in Arizona, so I'm in the Southwest Center. However, you can go ahead and click on this. The one I wanted to bring your attention to is the ATEX platform. So you can actually get an application for this. If you're a TI or you're a relative of a TI, they're going to deny you. They'll do a background check, and then you'll be denied. I'll also show you a copy of what the brochure looks like, so you can see that for yourself. But in any case, so it's the ATEX platform, and let's go into what this is. It's basically a real-time information sharing network, and it allows the perps who get a hold of this app to use it to try to harass and intimidate you. I say try because I end up laughing at them when I see them. They're so pathetic, their lives, they fixate on other people, and I just can't even imagine stalking another man, I guess unless you're attracted to them or, into the same-sex thing, which I'm not. Happily married for 22 years, so yeah, I prefer not to stalk other men personally, but some people enjoy that, I guess. So I just thought I'd alert you to how they're actually doing it. And if you're targeting an individual, you know that when you use your credit card or debit card, that flags everybody with the app within a certain vicinity. And then they can update if they see you. They'll, can take a photo of you or videotape you, which they often do. Or they can just update the app, which is usually what they do real time, and alert everybody else in the area that has the app as well, so that, if you're at a Walmart or something, they'll alert everybody in the Walmart that you're there. And your app has your photo and derogatory lies and defamation about you. You're everything from a drug dealer to a pedophile, a thief, the usual, meth addict. They make up lies to get people to turn against you. You're basically on a terrorist watch list. And so the different communities involved is pretty substantial. I was actually given an application, which, of course, they denied me when I tried to actually apply for it. But let me show you that application. This is for the Southwest Center. And I'm not real good at videos here, so I apologize. Hopefully you can see this, but I'm going to zoom in on the communities involved, which basically is, your law enforcement, government executive, emergency, public health, all the utility companies, of course, all your internet, Cox, Infinity, all those people are in on it. Hotels are in on it as well. But basically you can see any security companies. So, as a TI, if you go to any place with security guards, that they immediately are attracted to you like, vultures on dead meat. But in any case, it's pretty much about anybody can be involved in this in the private sector. And what has happened is this app was intended for certain entities, and unfortunately, as apps can be shared with other people, was shared with other people and spread like a virus. And then, basically perps or scumbags, satanic people use that app then. They think they're really clever when they get a hold of it to try to harass, poison, stalk, commit various felonies against you, break into your house, set up cameras, put GPSs on your vehicle. So they also obviously use the GPS on your phone and your vehicle then to track you. I had my GPS removed from my vehicle. It doesn't matter. They'll put another one on there. So, you can be out in the middle of nowhere on a highway and, they'll bright you. They'll mess with you. Just part of their sick little game. I can't even imagine who would, take part in something like this. But they actually think they're doing a good thing that, they're told you're a danger, a threat to the community. You're basically, on the domestic terrorist watch list. Even though you have no record, oftentimes, like myself, never actually committed any crimes, but it doesn't matter. My crime actually was I was a whistleblower, a pharmacist working with Walgreens and Super Value. And, approximately 10 years ago, they weren't recycling their pharmaceutical bottles, so I actually took it upon myself to bring the empty bottles home and recycle it myself. I emailed their corporate office several times trying to get them to participate in the recycling program because I knew, with 7,000 plus stores nationwide, our pharmacy alone was filling up a huge garbage can full, and these bottles take 1,000 years to dissolve in a landfill. So, it's obviously a tragedy to the environment. So, I emailed Greenpeace, which I would have done anonymously had I known what it was going to involve. But shortly thereafter, then my experience as a targeted individual started and, has continued for the last 10 years. So pretty much any pharmacy I work at, I'm labeled as a drug user, a thief, you name it, the usual scumbag tactics that they try to use. So if you're a threat to the government in any way, any type of a whistleblower, you'll be put on the list. And when you're on the list, you're on there for life. So in any case, let's go back. I'm going to show you back on the RISS. And what a name, huh? RISS. Anything with the SS in it, the German SS soldiers who tortured and harassed Jewish people. They also had a Stasi network, too, where they also gang stalked their own citizens for the Nazi party. So, yeah, we're just kind of headed down that same road, and got checkpoints with German shepherds just like they did, and unconstitutionally, search and harass people. It's all part of a totalitarian police. The United Police States is my new name for the United States. They also provide equipment. So let's take a look at that. So not only can you stalk, but they can provide you with specialized equipment. So let's take a look at that. So zoom in on that. The equipment makes a substantial difference in building cases, investigating, and apprehending criminals. Examples of equipment include body wire receivers, global positioning systems, cameras, video recorders, specialized lenses, night vision goggles, night vision scopes, ground penetrating radars. And of course, this is only a partial list. They're going to have through-the-wall technology so you can watch your neighbor through the wall. They're going to have microwave guns so you can microwave someone through the wall. Make them sick, give them diarrhea, give them various symptoms. I actually had a sheriff that was pulled off to the side of the road, and I was in South Dakota, and just in the middle of nowhere, literally on the remote highway. And I tried to take a remote highway thinking maybe I wouldn't get messed with as much, but there he was sitting alongside the road waiting for me. I was going 5 miles under the speed limit, so, not speeding, not a threat in any way. He waited for me to go by and then immediately got on my bumper. And I mean literally on my bumper. He was like had to have been within a foot. I can't believe he didn't hit me. But in any case, the fun part is that he pulled out a device with a cone around it. And no, it wasn't a radar gun. Radar guns don't have giant cones around them. And had this evil smirk on his face. I mean, the guy literally looked like he was a demon. And pointed the thing at me and followed me for, I don't know, 5-10 miles. It seemed like forever, but with this device pointed at me. And for some reason, my cruise control wouldn't stay on when the device was on me. So I thought that was kind of odd. And in any case, a little bit later on that day, 3-4 hours later, I started getting the symptoms of being microwaved. And that's severe intestinal cramping, abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, fatigue. So I virtually had to pull over and get a hotel room, and that was a mistake because they rented the room next to me and continued to do it. But in any case, yeah, just your taxpayer money hard at work. You know, purchasing this kind of equipment for the gang stalkers and local police force and other things, you know, to use. Fusion centers opening up all over the country. They're already all over the country at taxpayer expense, of course. Do we really need hundreds of fusion centers in our own country spying on our own people? Really? I thought this was a democracy. I can see protecting our citizens from foreign threats, but fusion centers in every city, opening up new ones all the time, drones, I mean, it's literally out of control. And of course, you're free to photograph and film from public property. That's part of your constitutional right. But if you try to film a fusion center from public property, you can find these videos on YouTube as well. You'll be arrested more than likely. You know, I wouldn't recommend trying to use your free speech in that manner because they'll arrest you. When it comes to fusion centers, yeah, they don't even let you videotape people coming and going from them. They're so secretive about that. So you don't really need your hard-earned taxpayer money anyways, do you? It's really much better off going to fusion centers and paying those employees there to spy on you. I'm sure you'd agree with that, right? Yeah. Okay, so, boy, so much to talk about, so many things to say, but, so, yeah, this is basically how they do it. Citizens on Patrol is another organization that's involved in this. They get the app, and then they're sworn to privacy or secrecy. So we know what it is and who's conducting it. We know it's the federal government. We know it's fusion centers, and the Department of Homeland Security is involved. So we know what the perps do. We know their little game. I would say don't let it bother you. They're just pathetic scumbags. I literally laugh at them. I can spot them immediately when I go into places and just look at them like, you're just a worthless piece of dirt, dude. Get a life. Just, yeah. All right. So in any case, the big question is, how do we stop this? And the answer is, ding, 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 get the app. So they obviously have an app they're using that they're sharing real time. And it is my distinct opinion that it is through this website, riss.net. And it's through the ATEX platform. And so what you do is you get the app, and then you're going to obviously have access to the profiles inside of it. And then, well, if you're, a doctor, a pharmacist, or someone important, you can sue them for defamation of character. You can try that even if you're not, but you would have more success if you actually have a title. You want to have a clean record as well. And, if they're posting things on there that allegedly that you've done, I know that they've used body doubles and they do all kinds of stuff. So if they're posting things on there that you've allegedly done, that you haven't done, then you have a defamation of character lawsuit. Now, when one person wins one of these lawsuits and establishes precedent, then basically it opens the door for everybody else to do it as well. It makes it really easy to win. Once you win one case and establish precedent, it opens the door for everybody else. So then basically what it would do is open the door for a class action lawsuit, which all the TIs would be involved in, which would be for an enormous amount of money. You think about the psychological, toll and the damages that you've incurred as a result of being a TI, the harassment in the workplace that occurs over and over again. Everyday life, you've lost jobs over it, I'm sure. It's cost you jobs. It's cost you friends. It's probably cost you loved ones, family members that have turned against you. So the emotional and financial, monetary toll that it's taken. TIs, I think, I would say it would be a minimum of $1 million of TI would be the class action lawsuit. So I would think the minimum each TI, especially depending on how long you've been targeted. I would say if you've been targeted for each year you've been targeted, I would say at a minimum $100,000 each year that you've been targeted would be a appropriate financial backing. So if you've been targeted for 10 years, $1 million would be appropriate. Payback probably even more, but obviously that's something the lawyers and are going to negotiate when they're going through the trial. So how do we get the app? Of course, like I mentioned before, it's the ATEX platform. If you apply for it and you're a TI, they do a background check. I've already tried it. They'll deny you. It doesn't matter if you'll qualify for it or not. They'll deny you. They'll find a reason to deny you. So, and I'm pretty sure that any family member that tries it as well. My dad's a retired law enforcement. He tried it. They denied him as well because obviously they know who your family members are, and they're going to do the background check. You're going to be flagged. So nobody will really, and those companies that are involved in it, typically you're going to be blacklisted from those companies. So you're not going to be hired by those entities that are involved in it, the hotel, industry, etc. Just as a test, I have 4 college degrees, including my doctor of pharmacy. I applied to some hotel positions, just not that I was going to actually take the job, but I just was curious to see if I'd get any replies. And I mean, I literally, and I've got a great resume. I mean, graduated in the top 10% of my class, etc. Scored 110 on the NAPLEX. Was accepted into law school with an $80,000, 60% scholarship. So I applied to just every run-of-the-mill hotel with all the big chains, of course. Front desk at the Days Inn. I mean, all these hotel jobs, I applied to literally 30 different hotel jobs, and not one of them returned my call. Not one of them responded to me in any way. So, yeah, that's not a red flag or anything. Yeah, who would want to hire somebody with a doctorate for the hotel front desk, right? Yeah. So in any case, long story short, you're not going to be hired by any of these entities, and they're not going to allow you to be successful in participating. So how do we get the app? That's the big question. How do you get the app? In my opinion, I've just come to the conclusion that we're going to have to bribe a perp. So you can spot them right away. Best place to go is, Walmart, Home Depot, those kind of places. And especially if you use your credit card and hang around for a few minutes, they'll start rolling in. But normally just by pulling up in your vehicle or having your phone, turn your location device on your phone, that's going to draw them like, vultures to dead meat. So that, you'll spot them quickly. And what you want to do is have a few $100s on you, a couple $100 bills. And you're going to want to approach one of these perps, and you're going to want to bribe them for the app. So basically you get, a perp, and you tell them, of course, it's going to be anonymous. I'm not going to share your name. A couple $100, easy money. You could just use a cover as, I'm investigative journalist, and hey, don't be frightened. And, you're going to have to be really cool about it. You're going to have to be friendly when you approach them, because you know how it is. If you've ever approached a perp, they scatter and they're all weird when you try to talk to them. And, even if you try to say hi to them or something, they're all they're creepy and weird, I mean, they got to be creepy to do it in the first place, but when you try to go up and talk to them, they're especially creepy. So, in any case, give me some posts. Let me know what you think. And I know there's a lot of different theories out there, but I'm pretty much convinced that the RISS, go to the website, snoop around, is the entity behind it. And you can actually see certain states will actually post all the agencies that are involved. And, Arizona, for instance, is one of them. So they'll actually post, and I can assure you that every single sheriff's office is involved. Not all police stations are involved yet. A very good chunk of them are, though. And, if you go to the website, like I said, certain states will